The war for the future of Hollywood has officially turned into a $100 billion game of chicken. On January 15th, the courtroom lights dimmed on Paramount's biggest attempt to hijack the Netflix and Warner Bros. Merger. A Delaware judge officially weighed in on this battle, and the ruling has sent shockwaves through the industry. This is no longer just a business deal, it is a battle of legacies, and the stakes just hit a breaking point. Paramount had filed a lawsuit trying to fast-track a legal block against the Warner Bros. Board. They wanted the court to stop the Netflix deal in its tracks, but Judge Morgan Zern said no. The judge refused to speed up the case, ruling that Paramount failed to prove they would suffer irreparable harm by letting things move at a normal pace. In a moment that sounded like it came straight from a movie script, a lawyer for Warner Bros. Told the judge, "This movie is still being shot, and you cannot shut down the set before you see the final act." This means, for now, the Netflix deal is moving forward full steam ahead. While the legal battle heats up, the financial numbers are getting even more insane. Netflix is making it very clear that they intend to win. They just secured an additional $25 billion in bank financing. This comes on top of their original $59 billion bridge loan. This is a massive refinancing move to make their money permanent and stable as they get ready to officially swallow Warner Bros. Discovery. But Netflix is also playing defense. To calm nervous investors who watch their stock price dip, Netflix is reportedly pivoting. They are turning their original cash and stock offer of $27.75 into an all-cash deal. By removing the stock element, they are trying to prove their offer is a sure thing, unlike the volatility of the market. However, you cannot count out the disruptor. Paramount is still in the fight, and they just played their biggest card. Since the Warner Bros. Board called their financing shaky, Larry Ellison, the billionaire founder of Oracle, stepped in personally. He has placed a $40.4 billion personal guarantee on the line to back his son David Ellison's bid. This is a massive move because it's not just company money anymore. It's Larry Ellison's own name on the line. He has even agreed not to touch his family trust assets while the deal is pending. Paramount also matched the $5.8 billion breakup fee that Netflix offered and pushed their deadline to January 21st. But when you look under the hood of that $40 billion guarantee, the risk is staggering. Larry Ellison has built his fortune on a strategy of never selling his Oracle stock, only borrowing against it. According to Oracle's own 2025 filings, Ellison has already pledged 30% of his holdings as collateral for other personal loans. That's $69 billion already spoken for. This means this new $40 billion guarantee for Paramount is being stacked on top of a mountain of existing debt. If he actually had to cover that guarantee, he could not use the pledged stock. He would have to start selling his free shares, something he has avoided for 15 years. He is essentially betting that he will never actually have to pay the money, hoping the promise alone is enough to steal the deal. So why did the Warner Bros. Board say no to Paramount's higher $30 per share offer? On January 7th, the board unanimously rejected the $108 billion hostile bid. They called it a risky leveraged buyout. They calculated that the Paramount deal would saddle the company with $87 billion in total gross debt. The board also pointed out a huge operational problem.
Paramount's plan would block a scheduled spin-off of cable networks like CNN and Discovery into a separate company. The board believes the Netflix merger offers more certainty, while Paramount is a much smaller company trying to pull off a nearly $100 billion acquisition it might not be able to handle. But Paramount has moved to Plan D. This is a waiting game focused on highlighting the regulatory risks Netflix is facing. They're warning shareholders that the Trump administration might view the combination of the #1 and #3 streaming services as an illegal monopoly. There is already chatter from senior officials about a massive antitrust lawsuit that could kill the Netflix deal entirely. Netflix is fighting back against these monopoly claims with a $7 billion move of their own. They just signed a landmark licensing deal with Sony Pictures. This gives Netflix exclusive global rights to Sony films like Spider-Man and the The Legend of Zelda. This is a strategic shield. It shows regulators that Netflix is still a partner that licenses content from other studios, not just a company trying to own everything. So here is the bottom line. Warner Bros. Shareholders have until January 21st to make a choice. Do they take the $27.75 all-cash offer from Netflix that has the blessing of the board and the banks, or do they gamble on Paramount's $30 price, which is backed by a billionaire's personal fortune but faces a massive mountain of debt and legal hurdles? Netflix is acting like the deal is theirs, but Paramount is betting that shareholder greed and government intervention will force a change at the last second. Do you believe the regulatory hurdles will ultimately unravel the Netflix deal, or is Paramount just playing a desperate game of chicken? Let us know what you think in the comments.